Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. A few years back during my travels in the United States of America, I met this Jamaican prisoner his name was Abdulaziz. Now Abdulaziz was in his early 40s and he had been in prison for 25 years and he was doing a life sentence for something that happened in his youth. Now Abdulaziz became a Muslim in prison, so at the time that I met him he had been a Muslim for 20 years, but all of it had been in prison. His Jum'ah prayers, his fasting, he'd learned Arabic, his Quran, everything that he knew was only in prison. So sometimes he would ask me about, what is Eid like in the community? What do people do? What is a mosque? What does a mosque look like? What do people do on Jum'ah? What happens? What do the children do? He'd ask me about all of these things. Now, one day he asked me about Makkah and about Hajj. And he said, tell me brother, he said, I want to know. He goes, tell me Babar, I want to know about Hajj. What is it like? Tell me, what is the Kaaba like? How big is it? What happens there? What's the atmosphere like? Now for once, for someone who can talk a lot, for once I was actually stumped for words. That, what do I tell him? Here is a man who, unless a miracle happens, he's probably never going to go to Makkah. He's never going to make Hajj. Do I tell it to him how it is? Do I tell him how wonderful it is? And that it is the most fantastic experience that he will ever experience in his life on this world. And that he will feel a closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he has never felt in his life. Do I tell it to him as it is? What is the spirituality? What is the feeling that you get there when you see the Kaaba, when you see the black stone, when you see the footprints of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when you see all of these things, when you see the grave of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Medina? Do I tell it to him how it is and to make him feel bad? Or do I just say to him, oh, it's not that good, it's okay, it's like no big deal, because I don't want him to feel bad? And that was quite something that was quite difficult for me. And I told him, I didn't really tell it to him how it really was. So I sort of told him about I told it to him in a very matter-of-fact sort of way, without trying to big it up too much, while still giving him a feel that this is someone who may not be able, well, he'll probably never be able to go on Hajj or go to Makkah, but at least I can give him a flavor of some of the things so he can experience it even though he hasn't been there. Perhaps you are, obviously if you are watching this video, then you are not someone who is in prison. You are not someone who is unable to go on Hajj or unable to go to Makkah or Medina. Inshallah, this year I will be making my first Hajj with the Quba Travel from London for the first time in 16 years. And during this journey, inshallah, I will be sharing more stories like the one that you have just heard. And I will be talking about miracles in my life, in my travels that I personally witnessed, dreams that I had that came true, and also stories of people, including myself at times where in my life I was living in the depth of despair, and I prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I opened my heart to Him, and He answered my du'as, and He gave me hope after whatever I was going through. So it would be an honor and a pleasure for me for you to come and join me and Quba Travel on Hajj this year. The details, the link is at the end of this video, and the spaces are very limited. Some of them have already been filled, but we still have some spaces available. Please come and join us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.